Hey everybody, today I'm going to be here talking to you about One Piece chapter 1034. Now, about this chapter, how good was it? How much do I like it? Well, this is a Sanji chapter, but going in chronological order, we have Um, the cover, which is Usopp shooting at the firing range for little kids, which is pretty adorable. And this might be the coolest Usopp has looked since Soke King, so you know. Um, yeah, so good cover page. Uh, this chapter was pretty much all Sanji. I there's yeah no there's one page, exactly one page that isn't directly tied to Sanji's story, and it's about Momonosuke, who is basically Sanji, but I don't like him. um, no, just joking. So we have Queen versus Sanji, and the young woman who was apparently hit by Sanji, apparently we'll get back to that later, needs to find someone or something that she cares about while Ogin, while the island is falling. So Momonosuke has a realization, or he thinks he can change Kaido's clouds, or like fix them almost, if that may, or fix them to not crash into the fire capital, or the flower capital, I mean. And, you know, a pretty good character moment. We're still kind of theorizing about what is the problem with Momonosuke's fruit, because right now it's like, hey, he's a dragon. Okay, where's the problem? There is none. That's the problem in itself. We've all been theorizing, and personally I think this is going to come into next chapter. We're going to find out, oh no, he can't control Kaido's clouds. I think so, at least. Hopefully something like that happens, or if not, I guess we'll all subscribe to the theory that Vegapunk just wanted it to be a blue dragon instead of a pink one. But yeah, so we find out that Queen is actually kind of basically just as smart as Judge, except Queen modified himself, or as Judge modified his kids. And he uses every single one of their attacks. He uses all four brothers' attacks. He does not use he doesn't use Reiju's poison, which I don't know how to feel about that. Um, I guess maybe he's like just working at it where maybe Queen will poison him next chapter, and that's why Sanji isn't up there running to Kaido and trying to fight him alongside Luffy, because that does feel like a strange thing for Sanji to do. We do have him. Uh, he appears to Sanji appears to disappear right after Queen turns invisible, and we get the Queen reaction face, as you can probably guess. Um, and then Queen specifies that he's actually moving so fast that the eyes can't track it, or something along those lines. He was talking about how that most likely will take out his stamina. Personally, I don't think that's the case. I think he can actually turn invisible, because it feels very odd for Sanji to be able to move so fast that Queen, a division commander of Kaido, isn't able to track him. And granted, it is Queen, so I feel like if you ran behind a pillar and then jumped up onto like a roof or something, Queen would not notice you. So it's hard to say. It's I know this is One Piece where anything can happen, but it feels far-fetched for Sanji to be able to move faster than Queen can process information. Because by that logic, oh, I guess Sanji's faster than King, you know? Which, guess what? We watched the anime. Everyone's seen that episode where Sanji in the raid suit fights King in that aerial fight. That's so if you're telling me that Sanji runs faster than the raid suit flies, it's a little weird. We find out this lady. I don't know her name. Um, it's very hard to call her any sort of like I don't think she has a name in the official manga yet, or she probably does in some SBS volume. I just can't find it. Um, she finds her mouse, and Queen actually got really angry about this because she is supposedly one of the workers for in the pleasure hall. She is one of the workers there. So Queen gets very angry because he literally called her today and he was told that, oh, she has a terrible migraine, she can't be out and about, and he sees her running around and yelling. So this kind of pisses him off, and Sanji actually basically uses a new move. His exact quotes were, "It was you hit her, didn't you, Queen? You're nothing but trash." If that makes sense. Um, yeah, that's kind of the meat and potatoes of this chapter, and I gotta be honest with you, I'm kind of disappointed. Um, you're telling me that hit her? Queen hit her? Okay, so that just takes, this interesting character dynamic that Sanji was going through right now, and basically, it also kind of diminishes him destroying the raid suit, because he thought the raid suit was transforming him into something that he was not, but then the raid suit got destroyed, so he thought he was going to stop that, but now it turns out that Queen actually hit her. I don't know, man. I don't know. It feels almost like a waste of the raid suit now, and I cannot rightfully say that I'm super impressed by this. Granted, it was a really good chapter, but I feel like this development just sort of rubs me the wrong way, if that makes sense. I would have preferred if Sanji hit her, because then it also would have made sense that the raid suit changing him would be a plot point, and that's why he broke it. That is consistent. Having him break the raid suit just because it changed him. Oh wait, it didn't change him. It just gave him an exoskeleton. Oh wait, he can turn. No, wait, he can't turn invisible. That's not true actually either. He's just moving so fast. Like, it feels like Oda is trying to backtrack from that chapter, and obviously this is not. Sanji did not put Queen in the dirt, so they didn't. They would obviously show, oh, Queen's retired, or um, Queen the Plague retired, or Queen the Plague defeated. It didn't give anything like that. So obviously there's going to be a Sanji versus Queen part 2, or however Oda calls it. But I don't know. I feel like this was a really squandered backtracking of what happened, and I really, even though I enjoyed it, I wouldn't say I thoroughly felt like every plot point that was set up in the past couple chapters is done. So that is a good testament to Sanji's character, though. How Sanji has really, the best way to describe Sanji, I feel, is he has really good chapters, but I don't want him on screen the whole time, if that makes sense. Like, he'll have, if he's starring in, 3 or 4 chapters a year, that's pretty good, you know? But he can't really. I think Oda has a hard time consistently writing Sanji. Now, obviously, the exception to that was Whole Cake Island, And this obviously carries over a lot of meaning from Whole Cake Island, especially with Queen using all of Judge's gadgets except for Reiju. But yeah, I think it's very interesting to see. And the backtracking I did not particularly like. Also, the way this was drawn, damn, this guy draws really well. All right, everyone looks really good. Sanji, I think, looks very nice. We love his Diablo Jambe. Um, it's just a great ability that looks really nice and always carries a bit of weight to it. All the characters were pretty consistent. Uh, I liked the effect that he was using for Queen's invisibility because it clearly looked slightly different than how other invisibilities were drawn, but still similar enough that you could tell it was invisible. It was really good, and I kind of I I don't think this ruins the previous chapter or anything like that, but I think in terms of potential, he did lose something. So, although personally, I think we didn't hear Queen's response like, "Yes, I hit her," muhahaha, because he probably would say something like that. So I think there might be a moment where Queen is like, "Oh, actually, I didn't hit her, you did." So I just think that there's still a lot of potential left, but not as good as the previous chapters, and not as good as Sanji's previous chapter either, which is kind of sad because this is Sanji's chapter. It's titled Sanji vs. Queen. You kind of want a better climax than what we got. Still good, just I know I'm coming off as negative, but it's still really good. It's just, not the craziest fan of it. So, if I'm giving it a score, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. And I know that's kind of low compared to what I would have given the last Sanji based chapter, which was like an 8 or a 9 out of 10, I think. But I just feel that this chapter was a good fight scene with good choreography, but the characters and how the characters interacted and the plot points about those characters, I feel were either misused or I did not particularly have intrigue in. So, yeah, 7 out of 10. Pretty good. And with that, everyone, I'll see you next time. Bye.